Hey folks, welcome back to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. So we made it to mid-October, and here in central Oklahoma it is really dry. We haven't had a rain in over a month. I think it was early September that we got a couple inches, but we haven't had any rain at all since then. So we've been watering a lot of trees and shrubs, trying to get them strengthened up before we go into winter. But man, it is really bad dry. Weather's great. It's about 68 degrees right now. Wearing long sleeve shirts this week. We've had lows in the 40s in most mornings, so it's really nice weather. The only thing I don't like about it is the sun goes down fast, so if I'm going to make a video in the evening after work, I got to get out here quick and do it. So that's what we're doing today. So today's video is going to be about Varroa mites. So we've done 3 oxalic acid treatments in the apiary here. Did them exactly 1 week apart, 7 days. I want to go in there and now check and do alcohol wash. So I got my alcohol wash kit. Right here it is, and I'll put a link below to this if you want to check it out. I did get it on Amazon, and I believe I used Cayman Reynolds' Amazon link. So if you want to go over there and help him out, click on his link and buy it from him, and he'll make a few cents off of every one of these that you buy through him. So help a fellow beekeeper out. So yeah, so this is nice. It's all compact put together, got its own little lid. I think that's bigger than a half cup, so I do have a half cup over there I'm going to measure my bees with. Has a little basket here, and the holes are oblong. See how they're kind of oblong shaped there? So when you swirl it, you want to swirl it clockwise to get the alcohol flowing through that basket and washing any mites that might be in there that fall off. They'll wash on out. So it's the Varroa Easy Check by Vito Pharma, and I think it's France is where this actually comes from. Anyway, I'm going to check our mite count, and also I pulled out some of the bottom boards, the temporary bottom boards on my screen bottoms. I pulled out 3 or 4. And I'm going to see if I can get a close-up shot of those and see, so you can see what some of that mite drop looks like from those OA treatments. So they do work. And so it is important that you treat for mites. Whether you check them or not, you need to be treating. So I've harped on that long enough. So let's get over there and look at those bottom boards, and then I want to see if I can get a couple of alcohol washes done out here. I want to do them outside because it's nice out. So someone left some comments. An easy way to do this when it's really hot out is put your half a cup of bees in a Ziploc bag and write with a pencil the number of the hive and put it in there with them so you know where that came from. They said if you use ink, that the condensation that the bees build up from being in that plastic, the ink will smear off and you don't know what hive it came from. So that is a really good tip, and I may do that in the heat of this summer. But today I'm just going to do it down here, and I'm just going to do it live. So let's get started. Okay, down here I'm pulling the feeders off too. So I just set that feeder out there because there was a lot of bees under that screen mesh, and rather than shake it, I just set it there against the entrance so they could get up in there themselves. And I've got one more feeder left that's back over here on these hives that are back in the woods, 29 and 30. It's on the number 30 right there. And 29 was a failed hive, yet another one. So big bummer on that. So we're down to 22 hives right now, which is okay. I'd like to have 27, 28, but it wasn't meant to be this year. Too many problems with queens. So let's see if we can get a close-up of these bottom boards, and I'll try and point out some mites. Okay, so here's let's see, hive number 9, and we'll zoom in. This one wasn't too bad that I could tell, but this is no scientific mite count per square inch. I'm just going to try and spot a few and show them to you. So the mites are going to be kind of an oblong shaped brownish red, and let me spot one. and I'll zoom in on it. Okay, boy, this is harder than it looks. So there's two right on that right corner of that hive tool. Oh, come on, focus, don't fail me. So right there, that is a mite. And there's another one right up around here. So what you do is you look for those little roundish oblong. That looks like one right there, right in the center. So this particular bottom board didn't have a whole lot on it. So let's go over to one that had a lot more. There's a good shot of some right there. See the little round, darker things? I don't know how this is coming out on video. I believe that's some right in there. Let's go look at another one that's got a lot more and it's easier to see them. Okay, this is hive 15. And you can see where see the lines where the bees drop stuff off. Well, all the lighter colored dots in there, I believe are mites. So yeah, look in there, you can see them. Those other specks, that's just normal stuff that falls out of the hive from the bees. But yeah, look at all those little round things, oblong bunch right in there. So this hive here, since it has such a big drop, or the biggest, I don't know if that's big or not, but it's significant. We'll do the alcohol wash on this one here, number 15. So I set the hive tool there because I could see with my naked eye quite a few right in there that don't have a lot of trash mixed in with them. I hope that's clear. Okay, here's 26, very strong hive. Actually, that's 27. 27's very strong hive. This is the huge swarm. So I see a few on here, but nothing like that number 15. So this hive, genetic wise, this would be a good grafting candidate because they're showing signs of being hygienic. They'll clean the mites off at the front door. There's a few in there. There's a few right there. But yeah, it's nothing like that other one that we saw. So yeah, I need to make a note of that. This is probably a pretty hygienic hive, and it made 2 3/4 supers of honey. And the prior year when I captured this swarm, actually I captured it in this tree right there, and that was 2 years ago. So go check that video out. It's called Huge Swarm, and it was really huge. It filled out two deep boxes. It was that full. I couldn't get it in one deep. That was how many bees were there. And I did get more than one queen out of there, and it took me a while to find this queen. This queen is, I call it a tiger queen because of her coloring. She's very hard to spot. She's not that kind of darker root beard body. She's different color that kind of blends in with the other bees, so she's hard to find. All right, let's quit yakking and let's see if we can do an alcohol wash. I've never done one before. Okay, in preparation, let's get our alcohol in here. So from what I've seen, you don't want to fill it all the way up, but you do want to fill it up to about here. So I'm going to fill it to about right there, about 2/3 full, so it's easier to slosh around. And boy, has anyone tried to buy alcohol lately? My goodness, it was hard to find, and when I found some, it was at a Walgreens in my hometown. and they had 8 of these little bottles, 16-ounce bottles out there, and I got 2. I wasn't going to hoard it all, and I took it up to the front, and the lady was very nice. She says, well, you know, you're not supposed to buy 2 of those. She said, but I'll ring them up one at a time, and that way you can get them both. I was like, oh, I didn't know that there was a limit. So alcohol is hard to come by. There we go. And that took pretty much all of it. So this is 70%. They didn't even have 90%. Let's see. I'll leave that out for now. All right, let's go down there and get started. Okay, so we used the nuke box to shake the bees into, and the bees that aren't nurse bees will work their way on up, and we'll kind of shake them down into a corner. Use this half-cup scoop, and once we get that, we'll dump them into this little basket and then drop it in the alcohol and start our wash. So that's the plan anyway, so we'll see how it goes. I don't see a lot of bees flying in and out of here, so I'm hoping this hive is still good to go. So we'll get in there and see. Just making sure we don't have a queen up here. So looks like they've got a pretty good honey store going. Weight is good, and I know I fed this couple of refills on one of those hive top feeders. I'm gonna start here on the outside, try to work my way over if I can. Boy, look at the hive beetles. So this is a honey frame, so we don't want bees off of there. And ideally, we want to spot the queen and isolate her so we don't accidentally shake her into the alcohol. Man, this is a very fat and heavy honey frame. That is a full deep of honey there. That weighs, I don't know, 8-9 pounds. That's pretty heavy. It's another frame of honey. A little bit of capped brood right there. And we've got a little bit of uncapped brood right here. So this next frame is probably going to be a good one. That frame there's so heavy with honey. That would be difficult to shake. Yeah, here we go. So here's a good brood frame. So I'm going to look on here real close for that queen. I don't see her. So I'm just going to note that that's the frame we want. And I'm not going to shake it yet. I want to hopefully try and spot the queen, because I've been known to overlook a queen or two. This is mostly honey, a little bit of uncapped, but there's not any brood on here. So unless the brood chamber is down below as well, that's all there is. So the third frame over is the one we want. And it's probably going to take a couple frames to get the bees that we need. Yeah, so they filled all of this up with the sugar water, the 2-to-1. 1.5-to-1 is about what I put in there. And probably not going to see a queen on a frame like that. That's all food and no brood. Oh, here's another brood frame right here. Okay. So number 3 and number 6. And we're back to the nectar again. Well, here's some brood on this side. Basically, we're queen searching now. And that's all nectar. Oh, and there's our queen. Okay, so here's our queen on this nectar frame, which I didn't think she would be there. That's odd. But one thing to notice about her, she's marked green. So that means she is last year's queen. This is her 2nd year, so next year will be her 3rd year. So I'm going to set this frame down here just for now to do the shaking. The way I know I didn't shake my queen out. So I know it was 3, 6, and this one had a little bit of brood on it. So let's take a look at this one and see if we'll use it. Yeah, I believe yeah, let's go ahead. I'll use this one and the next one and see if that'll get us our half cup. I think that might do it. See, we got quite a few there. I'll try and shake them down on that end. And then I'll scoop from the bottom to get as many of the nurse bees as possible. Oh yeah, that made a nice bunch there in the bottom. So there's my half cup. And we'll put these back in the hive. And I see her there. She's right in the middle. We'll come back in a minute and put a couple beetle blasters on here. Help them out with those hive beetles. So I want to see what this looks like. By the way, it makes for some very angry bees. And I'm seeing a few mites coming out. If you can see those. Okay, just a quick little count. I counted 16 of them in there, which that is too many. See them kind of swishing around. Yep. So we need to hit this hive, I'd say at least a couple more times, or just give it a whole nother round of 3, because that's not good. And what's good right now is they don't have hardly any closed brood, so it's a good time to hit them. So we'll do that this weekend. Let's check one more hive. I'll figure out which one and we'll get started on over there. But 15 is too high, so we need to do some more spot checks and see what it looks like on some others. So I said 15 is too high. Well, what's the number you're looking for? You might want to know that. So the way this is it's mites per 100 bees, I believe, is how this counts. So you divide by 3. Anyway, long story short, after you do all the dividing, your gazindas, you shouldn't have more than, I think it said 8 or 9. So if you got like 9, 10 mites, you need to treat. So 15 is definitely too many, and we need to hit it. I'm going to filter it through this Swiffer sheet here, because that's all I've got right now. I can see them real good this way. Here's a real good way to get a count. So looking straight down with a white background. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So really the count is 20. Get a shot of this. There you can see them. I may have lost a few in the cleaning out process there, but you get the gist of it. Okay, I'm over here on the north side, so that was the south end. This huge swarm, that's the one I showed you that didn't have a whole lot of mite drop. I didn't show you the one on number 28 right here. It had quite a few. It was very similar to that number 15. So I want to look at this one. This is a new hive this year, so I'm kind of concerned about its well-being and actually what its overall population is. No queen on the lid. Got a couple of assassin bugs around here. I'll give you a shot of those. They're pretty cool. Some people call them wheel bugs. Assassin bug. There's one right there. He's looking for a bee. Oh, he's got a bee. Looky there. Poor little critter's tongue sticking out. And there's another one right over here. And he's got a bee too. There he is. I'm not going to get upset over a couple of bees. All right, let's get through here and see if we can spot us some good candidate shaking frames and locate our queen. There she is, this year's queen. So I'm going ahead and using this frame because there's a lot of empty cells right there that the queen could lay in, and these bees are hanging here like they're nurse bees. So we're going to give this a try. Yeah, not many of them are flying, so I think we can do it. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Well, so far so good. I see some little specks in there, but they're not mites. It's I'm not sure what it is, but it's not mites. It's not shaped correctly. If I had to guess, I would say it's bee poo. Oh, I see one. He's right there. It just fell right there at the bottom. There it is. Right there. So this hive 28 had one, so that's good. And it had a big mite drop down on the bottom board. Okay, so yeah, I learned a thing or two. So it's good to see a thing or two and learn a thing or two, so you can be better in the future. I was stubborn. I didn't want to do this, so normally I would have been done. And look what I found. I found a hive that was full of mites, and it's been treated 3 times. And it has the bottom board insert, so I wonder if those things tend to let a few of the vapors out. I'm talking about these. So all it does is slide in a groove underneath that screen. And I noticed when I hit them with the vapors, some comes out, and I've been putting sticks under them to kind of hold them up tight so more vapors would go up. I wonder if that's what the cause of that is. But there again, Hive 28 has the same bottom board and it was fine. So who knows? So alcohol wash, I was a skeptic. I said treat them all, do your 3 treatments and be done, and don't worry about it. So I was wrong. You need to check them. You need to do this. You kill a spoonful of bees, but you're sacrificing those to know the health of your overall apiary, and I think that's worth it now. I didn't want to do it before, and so I think it's a really good thing. So I'm going to sample some more and figure out my action plan. I'm thinking now I might just hit them all another 3 times and use that number 15 as my control measure. So if they're good, I know they're all good because that one was bad. But I will sample some more. I may do the one on the far end, hive number 30, that's way over there in the trees, and check that one too. But definitely need to do more. So one thing I learned, you need like a coffee filter or something to filter this out. That Swiffer pad was kind of just a last minute thing. That didn't work out very well. I lost a lot of alcohol. And these days you can't get alcohol, so that's not good. So anyway, this is the end of the video. Give me a thumbs up if you would, and learn from my mistakes, and you'll do better. So don't forget to subscribe also on your way out, and we'll catch you on the next beekeeping video. Y'all take care.